I want to thank you for joining us today. It's hard to believe that we're halfway through the year. It's really gone by fast. And I want to give you some of our outlook on how the rest of this year will go. So the first thing I want to show you is a slide of the last 12 months of the S&P 500. And what you'll see is the market's been up 22% over the last 12 months, and it's up 11% so far this year. It's been a pretty good year, and we want to show you the rest of the market. So the next part is showing what we see happening in the market. This is our bullish percent slide, and many of you have seen it before. Just a quick review. The top blue line is at 70, and whenever the market's at 7, or whenever the X's and O's are above 70, the market is overbought, and you should probably consider trimming. Whenever it's below 30, the blue line on the bottom, it's a time that the market's been oversold. In fact, if you look at this chart, you'll see back in October, we were telling people to get really into the market at that time because the market was oversold. Right now, we're in a column of X's and we're midfield. So the offense is on the field, we're still positive on the market, and there is a lot more upside for the market. Now, the next chart basically shows when you have a really good May, which we did, how the rest of the year does. And what it basically shows is on an average, when you have a good May, the market ends up 10.5% from where it's at now. And then the next one I have is dealing with the 4 years of the presidential cycle, which we've said before, it really doesn't matter if it's a Republican or Democrat, the market goes up regardless. But what I want to review with you all is in the first year of a new presidential term, the market is up, regardless of if it's an incumbent or a challenger. In the second year, what happens is it does well if it's an incumbent, but does not as well if it's the challenger who gets in. Now, historically, if it's going to be a down year, it's going to be the second year. So if you look back at 2022, that was the second year of a presidential term. The third year is always the best year of a 4-year cycle. That's what we saw last year in 2023. And the fourth year, the year we're in right now, is the presidential election year. And historically, it goes up about 15%, and it's up 86% of the time. So we're quite positive for the rest of the year. We think it'll do well, and we think next year will also be a good year. Now, looking at a long-term focus, what we're really bullish on is technology. And this is a chart that's been around for a while called Moore's Law. And what Moore's Law basically says, for every 2 years, technology will double. The price of technology will be halved in that same 2-year period. And Moore's Law is very much alive today. So we see big growth in technology for many years to come. And that's going to be the main driver of both the market and the economy. This slide here basically talks about cloud data. And it's basically a cycle. So as you have more use of the cloud, it creates more data, which creates more AI. And so the cycle keeps on going around and around and growing because of the use. It kind of grows on its own. And then the next one, although there's a lot of focus on hardware companies right now, like NVIDIA, we're not recommending NVIDIA, we're just saying, NVIDIA, AMD, the chip makers and the hardware manufacturers, they're doing really well, but historically, it's actually the software companies like Google, Amazon that usually do better. Now, we're not recommending any of these stocks, we're just using them as an example here. And the last one has to do with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. When I graduated from Penn State, the market hit 1,000, the Dow hit 1,000. And in 1885, when Charles Dow created the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it was only at 10. So from 1885 to 1982, almost 100 years, it only went up 1,000. From 1982 to today, it's gone up to 39,000. What was the driver of that huge growth? It's technology. If you remember, in the late 80s, internet was started, and the Dow was only at about 1,500, and then we see that massive growth because of iPhones, iPads, PC, computers, all that is a driver. Now, technology only gets faster and faster and faster, and what we think is going to happen in the next 40 years, the Dow will hit 1 million. So I want to thank you for joining us for this little short video taping we're doing. If you have any questions, give us a call. We'd be glad to go over your accounts and talk about the market and give you some ideas on what to invest in. Until then, I hope you have a great day.